Okay, going back to the one take for video day 27. I just watched a video by Veritasium, and it was talking about learned helplessness, and I'm going to apply that concept to dogs as well as humans because I just finished The Power of Now at 10:45 at night. It's an amazing book. I want to also talk a little about forgiveness. So the idea of The Power of Now that I just read about is the idea that you have to die to the past. The past is not who you are. The future is not who you are. And in that video, he talked about how dogs, when they are trained in experiments, they actually will identify with time, and even though they're like their mind, it was about electrocution in terms of training them, they will still go to an area where they're electrocuted for like food or comfort or whatever it was, even though they have the choice to go away from it, and even when they're placed in an environment where the conditions are better, they don't know any better. So what's really interesting about that is dogs are very close to humans in terms of our ability to be identified with our mind and think that our minds are us, but dogs don't have that awareness to change that condition in them, and we do. All the stuff happening in Baltimore right now, I've been thinking about just humanity's collective unconsciousness. When you are, this may sound sort of scary, but when you are unconscious, when you are identified with your conditioned mind, when you are living off of a self that you've previously created in the past or some sort of projected self that you think you are going to be in the future, you are not present. You are not right now. You don't have that ability to make a choice. You have a moment in your life when you don't have a choice because you're not present. Because the present moment is the only thing that enables you to change the future right now. That's crazy. And then this is another crazy concept, because every human being has a brain, and every human being is suffering this kind of way between this push and pull between the present moment and the invention of time, which our civilization has created, if you haven't noticed, right? Planes, times to fly, get up for work, you have to have lunch, dinner, and breakfast at these times. You have to be here and here. You have to prepare your whole life and decide what you want to do with your life and your career. It's no wonder students are stressed. I'm serious. If you die to the past, though, if you don't, you can still plan. You can still plan for the future, for a future present moment to live now. But I'm going to go longer than 3 minutes. Screw it. But if you die to the past, you no longer need to forgive. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is a concept that needs time to survive. What does it say? The line in here, you cannot forgive if you derive a sense of self from the past. Because forgiveness, when you surrender and become, let's keep going, when you surrender and become fully present in the now, you die to the past and future. You die to the past and future. The last part in this book says, nothing you have done to others, you have done to yourself, things that have happened to you in the past, can touch even in the slightest and change the radiant essence of who you are. It can never change that. It can never change the present moment, because the present moment is all we have. Presence is the key. The now is the key. You'll know you have surrendered to what is, and the peace that comes with that, when you don't have to ask yourself the question, have I surrendered to what is? You just do it right now. And you have that high consciousness to be able to make that choice. If you are your mind, the mind is a great servant but a terrible master. If you can't shelve your mind and put it on the shelf for later and use it when you need to and not live right now, you don't have a choice. You don't. You're reacting to everything. You're sleepwalking through life. That's what it is. Sleepwalking through life. You're forgetting the awesomeness that is the present moment. Everyone is suffering in varying degrees. It's insanity to create your own suffering, to want to intentionally create. Who wants to intentionally create their own suffering? Who would consciously and intentionally do that? Nobody. Nobody. It's when we're identified with a separate sense of self outside of the present moment and the ego that humans become insane. It's crazy. I'm going to make a more detailed video on this book later on, but I wanted to reflect on that video because usually I see science videos in Veritasium, and it was like a mindful thought vlog. I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And he talked about freedom to choose. You can choose, but you have to have that consciousness. You have to have that high degree of consciousness and awareness to make a choice. You can only make a choice if you're aware that you can make a choice. You have to disidentify from your mind and have that awareness. And most of you watching YouTube videos probably have that awareness because you want to educate yourself and learn. But that's scary. That's the scary collective unconsciousness of humanity. It's freaky. So that's all. That's my thought for tonight after finishing a 7.5-hour audiobook on mindfulness. That's a lot of time. No. That's a lot of present moment awareness over a book. Keep being your awesome self. You don't have to be a thing. You can just be. You're like every other human being on the planet. You have a core essence, just like everyone else. Don't forget that, please. That's not forgetting to be awesome. Yeah. Watch your egos. Check your egos. MattPalka.